Hi, I'm Peter Casey. On the affiliate resource site, you're going to find a file called Web Lead Tip Sheet, and it basically is 10 tips for working on web leads. I'm going to spend a couple minutes with you right now and go over those. Number one, call promptly and recognize that your franchise seeker may have been on the web looking for other franchises. The reason we put this on there essentially is that people are looking for information on the internet. The internet is a very efficient way of getting information from many different sources. So when you call somebody, they may already have some preconceived notions about the franchise they want, or they may actually be speaking with franchises. It's a great opportunity to see what they've looked at and find out what they're already interested in. So the second tip is don't call the prospect at the same time each day. People have routines, so calling somebody every day at 10 a.m., you may be reaching them before they've reached work, or when they're in a daily meeting, or during the most hectic time of their day. So if you call somebody their first day at 10 a.m., make a note to call them the following day at maybe 2 o'clock. Number three, voicemail is very common. In fact, voicemail is getting more and more common each day. As time has gone on, we get more inclined to let calls roll over to voicemail. So leaving an important voicemail message is very critical for you to get your message across, but you don't want it to have to be a long voicemail message. Make it short, concise, and let them know that you're calling based on their request for information. The fourth tip we give you is follow-up emails. Let them know that you also left them a voicemail. So if you leave someone a voicemail and then you send them an email shortly thereafter, say, I recently left you a voicemail. It's another way for them to connect. They may have heard your voicemail and erased it accidentally, or heard it and meant to get back to you and didn't, and now you've sent them an email to let them know that you're following up. It's just a good connection point for you as well. Also, use the subject line of your email effectively. Writing follow-up information or your inquiry or something like that is fairly generic and somewhat looks like spam. I have found that a very effective way of filling in a subject line for someone to use is putting specific information about what they asked for. So if they're asking for children's franchises and they live in Dallas, maybe a good subject line might be children's franchises for Dallas, Texas. That just gives them more of a reason to open it and read it. As always, be short, compelling, and concise. People are very, very rushed, very hectic today. Everyone is time-starved, as they say. It's the same thing when you're communicating. Leaving a long-winded message or giving them a very long email sometimes might not be the best approach. The fifth tip is let them know that your service is free and that you have resources and value that you bring to the table. People today are very skeptical. They often think the other shoe is going to drop and they're going to be charged for something. So letting them know you offer a free service can be very, very effective. The sixth tip is listen carefully to what they're telling you and what they aren't telling you. Listening carefully to someone is probably the best tool you have to really getting good rapport going and really understanding what they're looking for. So if they're focusing solely on the freedom and flexibility that they're looking for, you may want to follow up and ask additional questions. If they're not mentioning any partners or they quickly mention a partner, you want to bring that up and see where the partner is and what involvement they're going to have. A good headset, telephone headset, is critical if you're going to spend a lot of time. It also gives you the ability to take careful notes and be more comfortable when speaking. Often the sound quality is better than trying to hold a phone to your ear. Tip number 7 is assume that the searcher or your franchise lead seeker has no knowledge about franchising whatsoever. People often are reluctant to ask questions because they feel they might look silly or ill-informed. So if you start with the premise that they know nothing about franchising and then slowly discover that they do, it at least gives you the baseline and the foundation to have a meaningful dialogue with them. So again, if you assume they know nothing and you assume that they have no idea how to get financing, let them know that you can help them with that. Let them know that there is site selection of assistance available. Let them know that they don't need to know how to build a store or a franchise or a retail outlet because the franchisor will do that for them. If you assume that they know these things and they don't, it is going to be a very big stumbling block for them. Tip number 8, be informed about top franchises. People want to know that you know more than they do. Imagine going to your accountant and bringing up a topic about general idea about taxes and your accountant not knowing about it. It certainly wouldn't want to make you work with that accountant. So if you're talking to somebody and they bring up a very well-known franchise that you know nothing about, that may detract from their relationship with you a little bit. Entrepreneur Magazine is a very good magazine for people looking for a franchise. If someone is very serious about buying a franchise, they probably will be reading Entrepreneur Magazine, so it should be required reading, in my opinion, for anybody looking to advise people on franchises. Franchise Time is our industry standard. It's probably the best publication you could read if you want to be very informed about franchising. So knowing about trends in franchising right now, knowing about the most popular franchises and the pros and cons is a very effective way for people to say, yes, this is someone who I can trust and who I should listen to. Number 9, have a routine for contacting web leads. A call in the morning followed up by an email is not a bad idea, and then the following day a call in the PM followed up by an email. Whatever your personal system is based on your way of doing business, your time constraints, and your overall comfort level and how you run your office and business, be consistent with it. It's very hard to consistently follow up with people without some form of routine, whether it be on paper or a software program or management system. Whatever you've used in your previous career, if it worked, continue using it here. But you do need to have a routine. And number 10 is always ask for referrals. The very worst thing you can hear is a no. If you've spent some time with somebody, talked about franchises, and they just weren't able to pull the trigger at that time and move forward, odds are they know somebody who also is interested, because people like to talk to other people about subjects they share. So if they have somebody who's looking for a franchise, you may very well have a good chance to get a referral from your client. So asking for referrals can never hurt. So those are 10 tips. There are probably more, and we will create them as they go along and share them with you. But it's a good opportunity for you to step back, take a look at the way you're doing your business now, and see if any of these tips might be helpful. Thank you very much, and have a great day.